Good morning. Welcome to another episode of my channel. Anyways, alright, special report on Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash. So, since we're talking about Bitcoin Cash, there we go. You can look here to the VIA BTC futures market and find that we're now down trading at $285.56. Alright, so question, what do we do to make as much money as possible over the next 48 hours? Basically what's going to happen, I think it's 12:20 UTC. Let me see. Just to make sure I got it right. Haven't read this, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's 12:20 UTC on the 1st is when it officially, when Bitcoin Cash officially forks. Let me double check though. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe this one. So, prepare for this, guys. Prepared for this. Oh, gosh. No, this is all old information. Bitcoin Cash fork. I want something not from CoinDesk, not from Fortune. Jimmy Song. That gotta help it out. You guys aren't following Jimmy Song? Like, guy's freaking genius, man. You need to be watching this dude. There it is. 12:20 UTC. I was right. My memory didn't fail me this time. Wow, it was $475 when he wrote this article. You see how it's tanking? Like this is because everybody is planning to sell BTC or BCH or whatever the hell they're calling it today. Everyone's looking to sell BCH for Bitcoin as soon as they possibly can. I think that is probably the best strategy. Bitcoin Cash may or may not be viable September 1st. It may or may not exist. One thing I would certainly recommend not doing is buying a bunch of Bitcoin Cash before it bottoms. I expect it to bottom with, less than $5, probably less than $1. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I just don't. I don't see anybody. I don't see the economic incentive to mine it. Like, and it needs miners if it's going to be a real altcoin. So the question is, who is going to mine this coin? And if it's trading for like $5 and those miners could be used to mine Bitcoin where they have been profitable, like the big mining pools have been profitable mining Bitcoin, very profitable. Why would they switch those miners to mine a $5 coin? Or $10 or $100? Like, what is the economic incentive to do so? It seems pretty non-existent to me. So I don't believe Bitcoin Cash is really viable. And like I said, I could be wrong, and there could be some more support behind this than is being shown, at least publicly. There could be some behind the scenes stuff going on, but like as I see it, um, Bitcoin Cash is going to drop major in value. And if it does become viable, like I'm not saying that Bitcoin Cash is just going to go to zero and be gone. Like I don't think it's going to turn out that way. Bitcoin Cash will sell off to a certain point, and that's really where the question comes in. It's like, is um, is the you know what? Let's go ahead and look onto some charts here. Let me just leave it at this with the Bitcoin Cash thing. Like, if you are looking to hold some Bitcoin Cash for the future, you'll probably be able to buy it at a much cheaper price. If you have those BCC credited, and I don't even know how that's all going to work. Like, Bittrex said that they're going to give me BCC when they can. But is that going to show up like right after the fork happens, or is that going to take some time? Are they going to be trading BCC right when the fork happens, or is it going to take some time for them to open up that exchange market? Um, if it's going to take some time, the chances are you're not going to get the opportunity to sell your Bitcoin Cash for more than wherever the bottom ends up being. Like, it's selling at $285 for the futures market right now. But by the time your exchange supports trading of Bitcoin Cash, it could be worth $5. Um, so, like, I don't know if you'll get the opportunity to sell your Bitcoin Cash before it's worth virtually nothing. But if you do, I would definitely recommend taking that. And if you really want to own some Bitcoin Cash, buy in at the bottom. Um, I think there's a possibility that Bitcoin Cash could go nuts, but not before everyone sells off everything they have. And I mean, that's just how markets work, guys. Like, markets go up because there are no sellers to continue to push it down. That's why you get those huge spikes up, because it's a huge influx of buyers and no sellers to reject that move. So, um, what we have in the market for Bitcoin Cash is sellers everywhere. Um, I would not be a buyer in a market like that. But anyways, I think I've discussed that enough. If I haven't been clear, sell your Bitcoin Cash if you get the opportunity to do so before it bottoms. And if you really want to own it, not me, I don't want to have anything to do with it. But if you do really want to own it, buy it back in at the bottom. But yeah, there's my 2 cents on Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin looking super strong this morning. Super strong. We now have two of these breakouts. You'll notice that we had this descending, or rather you could call it a symmetrical triangle pattern forming here. But this bearish trend line was holding it down all the way until the breakout here on the 27th. And that breakout came back down to find support here. You'll notice I put the X up here where resistance knocked it down, and then the little checkbox down here, if you can see it, where we found support. We did this again last night, I think, the 30th, 3 o'clock. Yeah, no, that was 2 mornings ago. 36 hours ago, we'll call it. We got this other breakout here to the upside, which has also found support. So that's two breakouts out of these patterns. That's very strong, guys. Very strong. This makes sense with the fork that's coming. Most altcoin holders, yeah, I mean, mainly we're talking people who have been in the crypto space for more than a couple of days. Um, these people are, for the majority, at least the uninformed traders, fuck the people that are gambling are buying Bitcoin right now so they can get more Bitcoin Cash, and that's one of the major reasons this is pushing up. Combine that with uh, the how far are we down with the SegWit activation period now? I mean, we're just a few days away at this point. This doesn't estimate when it's going to happen, but um, it'll tell us how far along we are. 1,388 blocks left. Do that 3 blocks, roughly 10 minutes. Divide that by 60 hours, divided by 24 hours. 9 days? Yeah, that sounds about right. I think August 10th is the protected date. So yeah, we're about week and a half away from the lock-in for SegWit. Now keep in mind, SegWit doesn't actually activate when this bar runs out. Once we get this next 1,388 blocks, SegWit doesn't actually activate. It has another difficulty adjustment period. Another one of these 2016 block periods. There'll be another one that starts on the 10th or the 11th, which will be the countdown to activation of segregated witness. Considering that these are about 14-day long periods, we can roughly assume, and I think Jimmy Song talked about it in his Timelines article, but we can pretty much be assured that SegWit will lock in right around the 23rd of August. That's currently the projected date. So basically what that means is we've got there's nothing really happening in Bitcoin itself at the moment. Everything is like BIP91 locked in, which has locked in SegWit now, and we're working on this difficulty adjustment period, which will lock that in. Like it's just it's a number of things that have to happen that I'm sure are going to happen. Um, but like there's nothing really changing in the Bitcoin itself. Yeah, we've got SegWit activating, but like it's pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point. So like this huge rally in price here and then here, like this was due to the BIP91 lock-in. That's what that was. Uh, but this rally here, I don't know about it, and like everyone is super bullish on Bitcoin right now. Like it's just like you can't spend enough you can't spend hardly any time in the crypto space without running into a Bitcoin bull. And I get it because I mean like the charts are very bullish. Basically what we're looking at is we need to break through this resistance line here that stopped out the last rally. Once we do that, really the only thing holding us down is this last resistance line here, which is essentially the all-time high. But if we look at this on a daily chart, and I'm going to do a question and questions and answers here at the end here. So stick around if you got any specific questions you want to ask me or anything. I'll be glad to answer them at the end of the broadcast. But yeah, looking here on the daily chart for Bitcoin, let me pull up the numerical indicator here. Let it compile. Oh. So yeah, I mean this is there's a number of ways this can go. If you look here, we got this 1 to 6 count here, followed by a price flip, which essentially told us to go short here on the 2 candle. And that turned back around here with this green 1. So what we're looking at now is this green count wants to go to a 9. It wants to go up to a 9. The question is, what is that going to look like? Um, or will it even happen if it does? What we need to see in order for this count to continue is, let's see, this 4 has to close above here, 2668. Every single day over the past 4 days, we have closed above there. I think it's very likely we'll continue to do so. This will end up as a green 4. What we would need the following day to make a green 5 is we'd need a close above essentially this red resistance level here, which is what we're working our way through at this very moment. It's that same resistance line. The close on this candle is 27.77. So in order for us to make a green 5, we need a close above 27.77. Let me go ahead and move this resistance line up here. 27.77, close enough. If we do get that candle, green candle closing above 1, that's an extremely bullish sign. And I would say that at that point, I would be confident that Bitcoin is going to all-time highs. The only reason that I'm even not like everyone's saying Bitcoin's going to all-time highs. The only reason I'm reserving judgment right now is because of this Bitcoin Cash thing. Like, it's just unpredictable. Like, Bitcoin could surge up. That is a possibility. We could see. I mean, some people are calling as high as 3,400 in just a few days. I don't know. They could be right. I'm really just waiting to see what happens after August 1st, after the fork. Because really, like, everything is just like all investors and all traders are kind of just sitting back like, what's going to happen? Um, and that's about where I'm at. But I did draw this little ABCD pattern. You'll notice that we got a retracement down to the 61.8 here, and then we're looking, if this pattern plays out the way it usually does, we're looking for a target here right around 2894, 2900-ish, which is right around the all-time high. It's this red resistance line. So what that's telling me is that once this pattern completes, we could possibly get a reversal, and that could take us back down here to this low right here in the 1900s. So, like, I don't think we're 100% clear on Bitcoin yet. It really could go either way. But my leaning is that just based on all the technicals here, and based on the overall sentiment in the market, Bitcoin is going up, 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 up. So, like, I'm really thinking that the 3,400 people, 3,500 people are probably right, and that we're probably headed at least to that, if not 4,000 or 5,000. So, yeah, Bitcoin, as always, resilient and strong. Now, Ethereum, I drew this arrow a couple days ago. It's following it as I expected. Ethereum is ugly, 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 and it just continues to be. I've got this blue dotted line here indicates our trading channel. You'll notice that we've stayed well within it for the entire correction. What I'm expecting, sorry to keep moving this chart around here. What I'm expecting is a retracement down here to complete our 9 count on the daily, which will actually be a 913.9, which is a supreme buy opportunity. So it is my personal opinion that we're about to hit the bottom here on Ethereum based on this indicator alone. But when you combine it with some of the prior price action, we do have the top of this bubble. Um, well, shoot, you can't really call it a bubble, but the top of this wave, whatever you want to call it, um, we've got a support area. You could say we've got this huge rectangle drawn. This is ridiculous. This is not a good way to identify support. Let me do it like this. It's right up there at the top. And that even extended a little further to include those candle closes here. So yeah, this is kind of what we're looking at for our next support area for Ethereum. I expect it to continue downwards. Litecoin. Now I tweeted this out a couple days ago, shared it on my Facebook too, about, well, you can see the little rectangle there. I said that we were going to have a dip down into this rectangle, and then we should experience an explosion out of here. I'm less confident about this now that I've fucking tweeted all this out and everything. Um, why am I less confident? Why am I less confident about Litecoin? Well, I don't know. We do have this 5 count, which is likely to go into a 9. Also on the weekly. You know what? You know why I'm feeling meh about Litecoin is because I was watching freaking Tone Vays last night, and this guy was bearish on Litecoin, and I don't think he's really looking at everything, man, is what I think. I'm gonna go ahead and take a stand here, and I'm gonna go the opposite of what Tone Vays is saying. This is like pretty crazy for me. Um, Litecoin is bullish. I think it's bullish. On the weekly chart, it's bullish. Like look at the numbers here. We got a 6 count here. We did get a price flip, but this is not trading below here. Like we did get a little dip down, but like this is turning into a hammer candle, or depending on how it closes, depending on how the trading action goes today, it could be a doji. Um, this is this is a strong reversal candle. Um, it's sitting on top of long-term support. Um, we've got one support here and then another one here. You can draw both of those, and then on top of that, it's sitting right here on this green triangle, which is a strong support area. So I think, you know, my belief was a little shaken last night watching Tone tell me that Litecoin is not a good place to have money right now. And, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Um, but I'm bullish on Litecoin still. I think that it has plenty of support in this area, and the weekly numericals indicate that this is a strong place. It's not technically a buy on the weekly, but if we do get a bullish price flip, basically this candle is not going to close above this candle, so this is going to be a red 2. However, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're probably going to get a red 3 too. But like all we have to do is the 4, and this could be a 1 to 4 candle pullback. Well, we didn't get a 9 here, so I'm going to take that back. But I think that since we got this 6, it's going to start over and try again. And it might take a couple couple of weeks, but like long term or midterm, intermediate term. What I'm saying intermediate term, I mean like over a couple of months, maybe a 3-month period. Intermediate term Litecoin is strong as hell. This chart doesn't lie, guys, and it's a good looking chart. However, in the case that I am wrong, because it has happened before, I hate to admit it, we could see a test of this area here. The Yeah, that's a wide range, but let's say that our next big area of support is right up here at 0.009. So, I mean, there is the possibility that we break this longer term weekly support. And let me draw an arrow to indicate what I mean here. We could see something along the lines of this if we do get a break. But that's not what I'm expecting. I expect Litecoin to be strong over the next few weeks. Ripple. They had to change their slogan to the banker's coin. I hate Ripple. But anyways, I noticed yesterday we were forming this 9 here on the weekly. This is just forming. The week started actually 5 o'clock yesterday, or 7 o'clock yesterday, Central Time. So we've got quite a long time before this candle closes. However, in order to be a 9 candle, it only has to close 1, 2, 3, 4 below this. So we're basically guaranteed to have a 9 here. 9 count on the weekly chart is a very, very bullish sign. What we would expect from that is either a 1 to 4 candle pullback up or a total reversal. Now, if you look back here in the price history, what you'll find is that these 9s are pretty reliable. So let's go here. We only got 1 candle before starting another countdown. I did get a price flip there, but this was, within a few ticks of being another 9 count. Started a reversal here, got to a 6 before reversing. The main thing that I wanted to point out here, like, the thing about this is, like, no indicator is 100% perfect. This numerical indicator is no exception. But you'll notice down here, what I have, these lines here are what's known as the support and resistance based on this count. So if you look here, we've got a 1 to 9 here. This was the last completed sell. This 1 to 9. This was the last completed sell. So at the top of the range, we have the resistance. This should actually be red. And the bottom of this, we have the support. You'll notice that down here, we got a 9 right above the support level. This is a very strong buy area. So you could have picked Ripple up here at 1205. The indicator would have told you to buy, and you would have held until you got a green 9. So also worth noting, this 913.9, I talked about this with Ethereum. This 9 here started a 13 count, which you can see down here at the bottom. There's the 2. I don't know where the freaking 1 is. For some reason, the 1 is not seeming to appear on my chart. Dude, this code is so buggy, like, I feel like reprogramming it myself. And, like, I don't know how to do that, but I can program stuff, so I don't know. But, we got a 9 here, started a 13 count. You'll notice that that culminated here. And then we got one more 9 right there. Look at that. So we got the 9, the 13, and the 9. And this indicator said buy at the close. Well, rather, you would want to wait until... Yeah, this one would say buy at the close here. And you would... yeah, you may have gotten close to being stopped out on that candle. But I would have waited for a price flip before buying. We got the price flip here on the 2. So that's actually where I would have picked it up for a long position. There on the 2. The close of the 2 would have been 692. And if you were to have only traded the 913.9, nothing else here, according to this indicator, you would have ridden this up for a 3,300% gain. So like, this is a killer indicator, guys. And yeah, this is like this indicator, along with a lot of other things that I look at on these charts. This is what we talk about with my educational consulting. If you're interested in learning how to trade and how to take advantage of this revolution that we're dealing with, um, learning how to use this indicator is something that I go over quite a bit. But as you can see here on Ripple with the daily, we're working ourselves down to another 9. We've got at least 2 more days of that. And yeah, just Ripple doesn't look good at all. One of these days I'll buy some to ride up for this next huge move, but I'm waiting for now. Ethereum Classic. I drew these arrows like a week ago. We're working our way down to make them happen. Looks like we finally got to the top of this support rectangle. So I mean, we could experience some kind of a bounce off of that, but we do have this resistance area right above it. So I wouldn't expect much out of a bounce, if anything. We are my short-term looks on Ethereum Classic are bearish. Bearish. I'm not going to talk too much about Ethereum Classic. Dash. Dash is actually one of my favorites. I've gone ahead and done a switch here. I used to look at Dash as a scam coin. Reason being the near instantaneous mining of well, it you can Google it, Dash Instamine. And what you'll find is that in the very, very early days of Dash, back before it was Dash, um, let's see, I think it was Dark Coin, and then before that, I think it had another name. So it's changed names. That's kind of sketch to me. Had the Instamine. That's kind of sketch to me. The whole Masternodes thing. For a while I was real like who has enough money for a Dash Masternode except the Dash developers, right? Um, so that was kind of my original thought, but I've kind of changed. There's over 900 Dash masternodes now. They're distributed all over the globe, so it really does kind of lend a little bit more credence to the decentralized nature of Dash. Um, so, and it's also worth noting that they market themselves as an anon coin, an anonymous coin. Um, I think some savvy software developers could show you how that's not correct. I believe I've read a few things about that in the past, that Dash is not as anonymous as it seems, but it does have that, what you want to call it, perception, reputation as an anonymous coin. And I think with all of with Alphabay being taken down, with the darknet being attacked again, um, I think that there's a strong possibility that anonymous coins will um, gain in value against Bitcoin as a result of people wanting a little bit more fungibility. Um, but I'm just speculating here. But what I'm trying to say is that I've gone from my view that Dash is a scam to Dash is possibly a valuable asset to hold long term. Um, but anyways, we can go into fundamentals and oh yeah, I meant to talk about. I'm starting a weekly newsletter, free content. Anybody who subscribes to it, I can send you. What it's going to cover is fundamental analysis for at least one coin talking about what are the long-term, 3 to 5 years prospects for this particular coin. I'm going to go over different coins for that fundamental analysis. Basically, what does this coin do? What is the community behind it? What are the developers doing? What is their plan? What's their roadmap? Um, and what are the chances that if I were to buy a set amount of this and hold it for 3 years, that it will be worth more? That's the idea behind my fundamental analysis section. So I'm going to be doing one of those every week, and then we're also going to do an in-depth technical analysis for one coin over a huge variety of time frames, so that not only can you have an idea of where it's going to be in the next 6 months, but you can also have an idea of where it's going to be next week, tomorrow, in the next 6 hours. Um, breaking that entire thing down, because a lot of the times when I only have time to talk about a few of these coins, and most of the time it's going to be on a daily or weekly scale, so that I'm not sitting here staring at an hourly chart telling you how to buy something, and then that period passes within 10 minutes and you don't have the opportunity to buy it at the price that I recommend. You buy it higher than it's supposed to be, and then you're buying it when I'm selling it. That doesn't make any sense. So that's the reason I'm covering daily and weekly charts mainly in my videos. Uh, if you're the kind of person who is looking for quick in and out trades, the 24-hour, 48 hours, and you're looking for a little bit more advisement, I'd recommend that you contact me and reach out about personal consulting, because I'm just not going to have the time to cover it in these videos to the point where you can actually get in and out of these in the time frame that you need. Um, Gosh, sometimes I just sit here and ramble like I don't even know what I'm talking about. Dash right here, daily chart. I've been talking about this trading channel for in quite a few of my videos. Every time we get down to the bottom of this channel, Dash rallies back up to the top of this channel, and this has happened every freaking time since April the 3rd. We got another test of it today. In fact, it was looking real scary there for a second. It was all the way down here. We got another test of it, and it's holding strong. Um, Dash over the next week is strong, very strong. I'm going to have to say that that is a bullish situation there. I'm not telling you to buy it. I don't give investment advice. I'm just letting you know what the charts say. I'm not responsible for your mistakes, guys. Even if I tell you to do it. Yeah, here on the weekly chart, we had this 5 count here. We've just been kind of flipping back and forth on price. I think we'll get another price flip next week, and that's going to take us possibly to a 9 count. That's what I'm looking for. So if we can get in here, right it up to this area, that would be awesome. And I believe the price gain is what, like, yeah, about 50%. So would be a nice little catch to make. I'm gonna chug this coffee now. It's cold. Monero. Oh, Monero. So this is our weekly chart. We got a close last week. It was really just like 48 hours ago, 36 hours ago. And we got a close right here on the bottom of this triangle. It's kind of ugly, man. I'm not gonna lie. I really like Dash. I really like the long-term prospects for Monero with its anonymous nature. It is the only coin which offers default privacy send. So I mean, like, you don't have the choice. Like, that's the default. Well, I guess technically you still have a choice until the next release comes out. You can choose to send not anonymously, but the default is anonymous. I think that this is going to be a big coin in the future. But as it stands now, like we're kind of sitting beneath this triangle, and I don't like that. Let's see what I mean. Like, you look at this on a daily chart. Yeah, it looks like the support is broken. I don't like that. But it does have so much support in this area, it's kind of hard for me to believe. Um, I'm trying to get a longer term. Yeah. I mean, if we do sustain a break beneath this triangle, what we'd be looking for is, yeah, down to here. Um, yeah, you got price action here. Let me go ahead and draw a ray to indicate that. We've got the low there, and then we've got this trend line. So this is the real support for Monero. If we do sustain a break below here, which it kind of looks like, we could see Monero retrace all the way down to here. So I don't know. We could go either way with Monero. Here's what I'd say. Just overall, if you're looking to pick up for intermediate holdings, if you're looking to pick up any altcoins, what I would recommend is hold back for a second. See what is going to happen over the next 24 hours. Don't buy a bunch of stuff until you know how these markets are going to react to the hard fork. Well, it's not even a hard fork. Don't fucking up. I'm mislabeling the terminology. It's not a hard fork. It is a split. Gosh, my technical knowledge is limited, but uh, hard forks, that would necessarily mean that Bitcoin itself is changing and upgrading itself, uh, becoming technically a different chain, but everything goes to that chain. So generally, hard forks happen as a consensus thing, not as one group saying, you know, you guys, I'm going to go do my own thing. So that's kind of what Bitcoin Cash is, which is why it's not really a hard fork. That's not my opinion. This is technically it's not a hard fork. Um, but anyways, until this whole scenario passes, chill. And let me see if I have any questions. You know, feel free to throw questions at me if you want to. You know, I can see here. If you wanna drop me a question, feel free to do so at this point. Take a look at Steam here. I've had my eye on this over the past few days. Yeah, looking like a lot of these, man, working its way down to a 7 count. Right here in this little support area. We got a test down here a couple days ago. Yeah, it's getting to the point where I might buy it. Did you buy it? Yeah, we're sitting at the bottom of this trading channel here. I picked some up. I think it was here or here. Here, I think. Yeah, 516 or 520, something like that. So I got it at the bottom here, but we should have another chance to do that today or tomorrow. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off now. As I said before, if you're interested in the weekly newsletter that I'm going to be doing with fundamental analysis for long-term holdings and detailed technical analysis for specific coins on all chart time frames, please visit the link in my description. It's right here at cryptomillionaires.wordpress.com. My current website until I get the funding to purchase a domain name. I'm a very, very cheap person, and I don't like spending money, so whenever I can get things for free, I do so. But yeah, if you'd be interested in my free weekly newsletter, please click the contact section here. Give me your email and your name, and in the comment, just write weekly newsletter or something to that, something that would alert me to the fact that you are interested in this. If I get enough interest, I may do them on, more of like an every other day basis, but start off with weekly, so it's something I can actually chew. As always, I'm accepting donations in Litecoin and Bitcoin. If you like my analysis, if you would like to support what I'm doing, in the video description you'll find links for my Litecoin and Bitcoin addresses. And as always, if you need to reach out to me, you can find me on Twitter at AgristM. You can find me on Facebook at AgristMillionaire. I do post on Steemit from time to time. My handle is at AgaraMillionaire. And yeah, so please give me a thumbs up if you like the video. A subscribe will alert you to whenever I am doing live videos like today. I try to do Q&A sessions and all of them as well, so if you have any questions, feel free to fire them off in the chat. Try to do it at the end of the video just to, accommodate for as many latecomers as possible. It doesn't seem like I've got a whole lot of questions today, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it off at that. But go ahead and leave you with a, kind of a final closing bit of advice. Just be careful over the next 36 hours. We should get some really great opportunities to pick up some cheap, strong coins that should perform well in the next few months. Particularly, as I've shown in my video, I'm looking at Dash, Litecoin, Monero. But we really need to see Digibyte too, Steam. I could keep naming them off, but what we really need to see is what this Bitcoin Cash split is going to do to the overall market. I think all in all, we're about to get another bull run for just about everything. But be vigilant. Keep your eyes open, and don't just throw your hard-earned money away on speculation. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that, guys. Appreciate the watch, the share, the likes. As always, I'm offering my hourly consulting service. Changed it to make it nice and easy. $20 an hour, payable in Litecoin or Bitcoin. We can talk about portfolio allocation strategies. We can talk about fundamental analysis for specific coins. We can talk about technical analysis on whatever time frame you'd like to trade, whether you're a long-term buy and hold type investor, whether you're an intermediate to short-term range trader or swing trader, whether you are interested in the short-term day trading. Whatever it is that you are particularly interested in, what I'd like to do is kind of give you a way to improve your strategy on a personal one-to-one basis in becoming more profitable in the crypto markets. So, done with the commercial, guys. Thanks for the watch, and get ready, guys. We're about to get some good moves going. So, thanks again. Adios.